Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Roger Hoover now pleased to be joined by one of our good friends on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Darien Schaefer. He is the president and CEO of Visit Pensacola. Visit Pensacola is this week's game sponsor for Alabama on the road against Georgia. So, Darien, Pensacola, if fans are not making the trip to Georgia, and there's a lot more beachfront. There's a lot more to do in Pensacola, Florida this weekend. How's everything going in Pensacola as we look forward to visiting with you over the next few minutes?
Things are going great. This is really my favorite time of the year to enjoy the weather and the beaches and all the things that are going on in the Pensacola area.
It really is a great time to get down there because the beachfront is just so different than other spots we see around the Gulf Coast, especially different than the East Coast. So, what makes Pensacola Beach, Perdido Key, and then also the Gulf Islands National Seashore so unique from other spots?
We're fortunate because the beaches are truly amazing. And that white sand and that blue-green water and clear. And this time of the year, the waves are calmer. I mean, it's amazing. But we are so much more than just the beach. I think where we stand out is we have this authentic downtown based on our history that has restaurants and shopping, nightlife, museums, and theaters. And we also are home to the Pensacola Naval Aviation Museum, which is a must-see. It's this amazing collection of planes that is hard to find anywhere else. And then they opened up a new exhibit, a new POW exhibit that is phenomenal.
That's really great to hear. And you mentioned the great history that Pensacola has. I think when a lot of people think of the oldest communities in the country, they may point to St. Augustine, they may point to Charleston on the East Coast, but Pensacola has such a really deep history, especially with all the different rulers we've seen throughout the years.
Yeah. What I didn't even know until I moved to Pensacola is that Pensacola is the first European settlement in America. It was established in 1559 by a Spanish explorer, Tristan de Luna, and it was about 6 years before St. Augustine was established. And since then, we've had five flags that have flown over Pensacola Bay, including the French, Spanish, and British. And so, what I think is special is you see it in the architecture, the food, and truly the pride that our residents have in sharing this with the visitors and people moving to the area.
All right, you mentioned food. You're making me hungry. What are some of the spots people need to check out for food in Pensacola? Because there are so many different options you can have there.
There are. So it doesn't matter if you're in Perdido Key or downtown or on Pensacola Beach. You've got great options because, this is where the food comes straight from the tide to table. Fresh seafood is amazing. Oysters are king. And what I truly appreciate is we have a lot of chef-owned restaurants. Certainly we have your favorite chains, but we have great options for whether it's white cloth or you still want a foot in the sand. You really can't go wrong.
Really can't go wrong, especially with everything coming up in Pensacola over the next few weeks. I know the Alabama soccer team will be making their way for the SEC soccer tournament coming up at the beginning of November. But what else is coming up during a really busy time of the year over these next few weeks?
It is. It seems like Pensacola always has something going on, a festival, event, always live music that's happening. Like this weekend, we have the Pensacola Seafood Festival. And then beginning of October, we have the Pensacola Beach Songwriters Festival through October 12th. But a great time to come if you're looking to spend more than just a couple days is the first 10 to 15 days of November, because that is when we do have the SEC Women's Soccer Championship Tournament from November 2nd through the 9th, but also so many other things. So we have something called Foo Festival, and that is like an arts and culture festival where all of our different museums and all of our cultural organizations, whether it's a symphony or theater, do special things. And then on top of that, there's the Gulf Coast Arts Festival, the Greek Festival, and then, of course, the Blue Angels Homecoming Show is November 14th and 15th, and that's on the base. And it's an amazing air show that people would definitely enjoy. And then all that's wrapped up in the Frank Brown Songwriters Festival that also lasts 10 days. So it's my favorite 2 weeks of the year is the beginning of November.
That's certainly exciting. And for more information, and especially for people trying to plan their visit to Pensacola, where should they head online for more resources?
So I would recommend everybody to check out visitpensacola.com. That's our website that has everything on it, as far as from lodging to meals to especially events. Blogs that have itinerary examples or answers to a lot of your questions, and great photography. So you really get an idea of the kind of experiences that you can enjoy when you're here in the Pensacola area. So yeah, visit Pensacola.com is the place to go.
Well, we can't wait until our next visit, Pensacola visit coming up. Darren, you guys have been such great partners with us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We hope Alabama fans will make their way to the Sugar Sand Beaches coming up over the next few weeks. Just thank you for the time you've given us and all the best.
All right, thanks, Roger. Roll Tide.